COVID pandemic led Tzu Chi volunteers to bring New Year dishes to seniors in Ruisui Township to cheer them up. Volunteers at Zhongli Recycling Station working with joy every day to make the earth cleaner. I'm Sean Scanlan. This is DaAi Headlines. Let's get started. The first winter Hotpot Gathering was held at Puming Temple 50 years ago, with some 40 Hotpot gatherings taking place in Taiwan each year. Due to the pandemic, many gatherings were canceled. As a result, Tzu Chi volunteers brought New Year dishes to seniors in Ruisui Township. Here's more.
Actually, in the past, whenever there was a Lunar New Year, we would initiate the Hotpot Gathering. But due to the pandemic this year, we can't do the same as before. In Ruisui Township, there are many seniors like Mr. Lee that need care. So we thought of arranging a home visit in order to bring joy to seniors during Lunar New Year. This time in Ruisui Township, 4 volunteers participated in this event. And they have also prepared 10 dishes, sending those to care recipients. I think this is not that simple. Since it's a Hotpot Gathering, we actually could have called for a delivery, which would save effort. But the volunteers are willing to cook for care recipients and be at their doorstep. This is very impressive.
煮得不够久还是水用了没有平均？等一下，进来个煮还可以。好，咱这吼也是香鸡煮的较老了，咱这吼半路出鸡吼。
This bowl of rice is for Tzu Chi, and our lack of experience caused difficulty in cooking rice, but we still have to continue making it.
In the past, there were around 30 to 40 winter Hotpot gatherings in Taiwan. Due to the pandemic this year, we had to do this event in the form of distributing winter supplies. Mr. Lee is almost 80 years old, and in 2008, because of his physical condition, he was introduced to Tzu Chi. Through providing care to him, we discovered his financial needs, so we listed him as a long-term care recipient. He currently lives alone. As I remembered, he would ride his bicycle every morning, wearing simple clothing and searching for recyclables around the village. He would then take it into the recycling station and assist with the recycling work.
These Tzu Chi brothers and sisters really look after me. I'm very happy, thank you. Besides recycling, he also discovered interest in Master Zheng Yin's teachings through a Tzu Chi sister's introduction. So we would often take him to burn incense, and his improvement over time is very impressive. The gathering with Mr. Lee is for us to show our care for him.
Although there are many care recipients in Ruisui Township, the available Tzu Chi brothers and sisters are limited. So when we did the home visits this time, many came out to cook and find places for the event. Seeing the energy from Tzu Chi brothers and sisters in Ruisui Township really impressed me, since many people were dedicated in bringing the love.
Hualien Tzu Chi Medical Center's long-term volunteers make red bean soup for hospital staff every year. This time, the sweet soup also utilized flowers planted around the hospital, warming the hearts of people coming to the hospital. Take a look.
At the garden in Hualien Tzu Chi's Medical Center, besides viewing the flowers, a secret recipe spawns from these flowers.
In the hospital, volunteers often use the osmanthus flowers. After picking it, the flower is made into sweet osmanthus syrup.
In the early morning, volunteers are preparing to make red bean soup along with sweet potato glutinous rice balls. Not only is the soup for the medical team, but people coming into the hospital may also have a share of the soup.
There are a lot of nurses with the love for Tzu Chi sisters and sharing the soup with colleagues. I'm grateful that during the New Year we can drink sweet soup thanks to volunteers.
During the Lunar New Year, the hospital remains in operation. Every year, volunteers working in the hospital set up cheer stations, taking shifts to care for medical staff.
Our medical colleagues worked hard, so us volunteers will care for them. During these 3 days, besides following the SOP for COVID prevention, we set up cheer stations to care for medical staff.
A simple sweet soup, filled with sincerity, brought a sweet new year to people coming into the hospital.
During Lunar New Year, the police force became even busier. This time, Geelong Tzu Chi volunteers brought eco-friendly scarves, keeping them warm while they are on duty.
Each peace charms and eco-friendly scarf are placed into bags as Keelung Tzu Chi volunteers bring these supplies to hardworking policemen.
Actually, our Jingsi Hall is within range of this police station. I believe that the warmth and love brought to them will be felt deeply.
The scarves we receive from Tzu Chi Foundation are made from recycled PET bottles, providing much warmth and love to our colleagues who are in the front lines when they are on duty. They can also then spread the love to the public when they are on duty. I hope this concept of empathy and love may be passed on to citizens that we serve.
The commissioner of the police station invited us volunteers and staff members from each department. I felt really moved because of how the policemen and fellow staff members recognized Tzu Chi.
Besides the 200 eco-friendly scarves given by Tzu Chi volunteers, Jingsi aphorisms were also shared to fellow policemen, spreading positivity to hardworking policemen while they are out on duty.
On Lunar New Year's Eve, Tzu Chi Malacca chapter volunteers prepared New Year dishes for nearly 100 care recipients and volunteers who cannot unite with their families due to movement restriction orders.
Volunteers have prepared New Year dishes for the Tzu Chi care recipients and Dharma families, delivering their best wishes.
We decided to cook delicate dishes so they can feel the Lunar New Year festivities.
Due to the movement restriction order, about 100 care recipients and volunteers cannot unite with their families. Volunteers have delivered New Year dishes.
It is very beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Happy New Year.
I hope these solitary seniors can feel the Lunar New Year atmosphere.
Despite the pandemic, volunteers delivered their best wishes for the care recipients, adding warmth to the Lunar New Year holidays.
We wish Tzu Chi brothers and sisters good health and auspiciousness.
Tzu Chi Philippines chapter volunteers used video conferencing to spend the Lunar New Year with the Master and Global Tzu Chi volunteers. Last year, they delivered pandemic relief and carried out disaster relief in the aftermath of 2 typhoons.
Tzu Chi Philippine chapter volunteers have put on their masks and face shields together at the Jingsi Hall to welcome the Lunar New Year. As they take personal protection measures, the arrangement of the lotus seats also ensures social distancing is observed.
For 25 years, I joined Tzu Chi's year-end blessing ceremony almost every year. This is the most important gathering of the big Tzu Chi family. Despite the pandemic, I still need to come and gather with Tzu Chi family. Today is the first day of the Lunar New Year. I need to spend it with the Master and Global Tzu Chi volunteers.
In 2020, the world faced a pandemic. For Philippine city volunteers, it was a busy year. As the volunteers leader, the CEO has made New Year wishes.
Last year, a volcano erupted in January, and there was the pandemic. Later, at the end of the year, there were 2 large typhoons. I hope that during this new year, there will be a favorable weather and less disasters in the Philippines. May everyone have new wishes.
经过去年的那个疫情，很感恩我们可以在
After we faced the pandemic last year, I am grateful we can send our New Year greetings to the
在
Master.
这个新的一年里，这个疫情
I hope in the new year, the pandemic may end soon. Let's start anew.
再重新出发。
Via cloud technology, Philippine city volunteers spent the first day of the Lunar New Year with global city volunteers, delivering their best wishes.
全球实际家人坚定道心，福慧圆满。
The Zhongli Recycling Station has been established for more than 20 years. Many volunteers come to do recycling every day, cleaning the earth, which fills their hearts with joy.
My heart is here right now.
I can come here to chat with someone.
I throw away everything in the house as garbage. After doing recycling, I treat everything as a treasure, except for the tape of the videotape, which cannot be recycled. The rest can all be reused.
This can be used as a plastic sheet. There is a cardboard inside, so we have to cut this plastic sheet as garbage and then peel it off and reuse it. The cardboard inside can be recycled.
你跟我讲一下，讲什么？你怎么一面唱歌一面走路啊？开心啊，完成了啊。可以吗？
I have been doing recycling for more than 10 years, and this is the first time I'm like a star. Doing recycling is relatively simple. It's not easy to be a star. For me, it's easier to do recycling.
Recycling really needs to be done. If we don't do it, what will our next generation do in the future?
In Taiwan, people are cleaning up their homes to welcome the Lunar New Year. As a result, they threw away a lot of recyclables and garbage. At Tzu Chi Sanzhong grounds carried out 8 days of nighttime recycling to process all the recyclables.
They are like recycling fireflies, and they'll be recycling for 8 days until Lunar New Year's Eve. Local residents are cleaning their houses, and the items they throw out have become little mountains at Tzu Chi Sanzhong grounds.
剪刀嘞，剪刀在这里，被拉呀了，挂一条。
As there's much garbage among the recyclables, it's difficult to sort through the items.
We finished half of the work and the recyclables have lessened, but then the second truck came. Everyone still does his best to recycle. It is very interesting. It is as if we're making meal boxes, 600, 800 or 1,000 of them. Everyone works as a team and quickly completes the mission.
Among the volunteers, someone has not cleaned up her home, but she comes here every day.
If I do not do the work, other people will do it. If I don't clean up my home, no one will do it. However, if I do not come here, other people will rush to recycle. Due to the pandemic, many people have ordered takeout and used disposable utensils. On average, there's a truckload of disposable utensils in a week.
As it gets dark, these recycling volunteers are still like fireflies, working diligently to protect the environment and lighting up the recycling station.
In Hualien, vendors have promoted the automated recycling machine. Besides being simple and convenient, the public can also collect points and redeem vouchers through the machine. Take a look.
Discarding the plastic bottle into the auto recycling machine, recycling has become an easy and convenient thing to do.
If we throw them in the rubbish bin, some people will simply throw them without sorting. With this machine, it's much easier.
4 trillion plastic products are being produced globally every year, but the recycling rate of these plastic products is less than 10%. In Hualien, there are vendors who imported the automated recycling machine, which is able to recycle plastic bottles, plastic products, and even batteries, achieving the target of reusing resources.
Rubbish has no nationality and boundaries. We can see that there's many rubbish in our oceans. It does not necessarily originate from one place, it is from different places. In 2030, there'll be more rubbish in the ocean compared to fish, so we need to start making a change right now. We can all contribute a little, practicing and recycling in our daily lives. We hope that our Earth can be a peaceful place.
This interesting and convenient machine has increased the willingness of the public to practice recycling, reducing the problem of rubbish overload.
A Penang Tzu Chi after-school class student, 10-year-old Fu Su Lin, is determined to go meatless. Being a vegetarian baby, she not only likes to be vegetarian, but is also very good at cooking vegetarian food.
The kitchen knife is bigger than her face, yet this 10-year-old chef concentrates on preparing this dish, golden mushroom okonomiyaki, for the family. Fu Su Lin insists on cooking vegetarian dishes only.
If you raise an animal, you need to give it food to eat. It also takes a lot of effort to clear the forest to give it a place to live. For the animals on the farm, like the cows, they will emit carbon dioxide, which is a greenhouse gas and is harmful to the earth.
Even though she's so little, she knows very well. It is all because of her mother.
心理上会觉得说，就比较
In my heart, I don't have so much greed. The main reason for being vegetarian is a reluctant and compassionate heart. I just don't want to kill animals. Because she is vegetarian, she will protect lives in her daily life. So usually when she sees those little animals, like ants or others, she won't hurt them.
间接哈，平时好像她看到那些小动物啊，像蚂蚁啊什么啊，就不会去伤害咯。
After changing eating habits, the little girl's heart is purer and being more filial to her parents.
那好像有一次，我记得她煮那个什么。
I remember she once cooked mint water because her father coughed and there were a lot of mint in her kindergarten. She then asked her teacher's permission to pick some mint leaves back and boil it with water for her father to drink.
她就煮水给爸爸喝。
The whole family's awakening to go meatless continues every day.
Taipei Medical University is deeply involved in brain science research. In recent years, it has found a way to measure brain waves, which can lead to a breakthrough when it comes to traditional polygraph tests, which a researcher uses to check to see if someone is lying or not. The research could prove to be very useful. Almost all the activities of public figures nowadays are scrutinized by the media. Here in front of the camera, there are micro-expressions that are even harder to escape the eyes of experts.
他当下的第一个反射动作叫做推下巴。
Her first reflex action right now is called disapproval as she pushes out her chin. And then she recovered and smirked quickly. Just a small smile with her mouth, but not with her eyes.
Just gonna let him throw away his career? We're basically gonna lie?
Not basically.
Just like a reflex action, when your inner thoughts conflict with your outer performance, just 0.25 seconds can reveal your true reaction.
挤一下，好就没了，挤一下就。
One quick smirk indicates impatience or being disgusted. When this happens, we'll lift the upper lip and it will change like this. The nasal cavity collapses so we don't smell a nasty smell.
Just like North Korean high-ranking cadres who talk publicly about something they know is not true.
Only ask you the questions we discussed.
Yes.
The truth of a conversation may be difficult to determine. Traditional polygraph machines observe changes in values from breathing, pulse, and skin conductivity. Now there's another way to directly analyze brain waves.
We want to detect brain waves from the position of several electrodes, putting into the skin to get a signal. The contact between the electrodes and her scalp will be better.
If you don't recognize the photo at all, press M to jump over the question.
Flash pictures one by one with simple right and wrong questions so that the subjects could answer the questions quickly, almost without hesitation.
If the number in the middle is the same as the above, it means that he has actually seen but lied. If the number below with a delay of nearly 1/10 of a second, which means that we know he's hiding something. So at this time, you can shuffle the pictures of the murder weapon or the deceased into all the photos to see if the P300 is larger for these cases.
天洞，没看过。
Every time you tell a lie, you have to use more lies to get out of it, which can result in detectable changes.
When he wants to make out a fake name or give a certain character or a certain place, a red line to start to run in the positive direction, and you can reasonably doubt this. If doing something is as simple as telling the truth, why is there such a degree of activation in your frontal lobe? It means you're doing a lot of calculations and shows the brain is moving quickly.
Compared with traditional polygraph, which require a dedicated person to ask questions, a system developed by Taipei Medical University is purely computer operated and includes a shorter test time and higher accuracy.
A seated position. Yes.
It's not just the polygraph. This type of questioning can be subject to current environment along with physical and mental conditions and the manner of questioning. With so many variables involved to this day, it cannot be used as evidence in court.
When you use an instrument that measures a degree of tension or stress, the questioning method will cause people to be nervous. This means that the two may be a bad combination. Measuring brain waves with our new method may involve the same problem, as the testing we do today may put too much of a burden on the brain. As a result, if I ask a lot of questions, telling the truth may become very burdensome. This might not be the right way to ask the questions, and I may accuse those who are innocent.
New technology can, however, be an aid helping researchers and experts to collect evidence, allowing the truly innocent to no longer suffer injustice. Farmland in Jordan can be cultivated for 8 months a year and is rich in fruits and vegetables. The fallow period is from November to February, with Jordanian Tzu Chi volunteers visiting this area to distribute additional food and a cash distribution to help locals pay the rent. We leave you with these images. Thank you. Goodbye.